Hey there, Fifth Street Baptist Church family and friends. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. I was so excited seeing God work in our congregation this past weekend and seeing how He's drawing many people to faith. Many new visitors are coming to church. We had an awesome beach baptism on Sunday night. Kip was so excited to join us at Higgs Beach. He's a longtime believer, just needed to follow through with baptism, and so that was pretty awesome. Now, what's really interesting about baptism is God uses our public commitment to Him and demonstration of faith through baptism to compel others to be baptized. So we are going to have a baptism on Sunday morning here at the church, and then Sunday night we're going to have one here at the church. So 2 more coming up this weekend. So I'm so excited. It's always really energizing and really bolsters our faith to see fellow believers taking step of faith, whether it's when they commit to serving the church, join the church, follow through with believers' baptism. So really, really good times right now. So I hope you'll be here to be a part of this and to be encouraged by the Lord. You know, it's interesting. I grew up in Iowa, as many of you know, and we really enjoyed being outside. I absolutely love being outside. And growing up, I spent most of my time outside. My family loved being out there. And I spent a lot of time with my dad hunting. And so we did all different seasons of hunting. We went squirrel hunting, pheasant hunting, turkey hunting, deer hunting. If you could hunt it, we pretty much did it. And so one of the interesting things, though, as a young man, when you hunt, you really need to go with someone who's hunted before, who knows where they're going. We have really thick, dense woods full of hills and cliffs in the river valley in Iowa that I grew up in. And so I would go, and I was always careful to follow my dad. And he would tell me, you gotta, stay about 5 feet behind me, but you need to stay nearby because there were holes, there were, like I said, big steep hills and cliffs, and we would kind of follow these deer paths, which were sort of a dirt path in the middle of the woods, maybe no more than 2 feet wide. And so I had to watch him and watch the path and try not to veer from the right or the left, but just to stay on that straight and narrow path. And so I would follow him to get to wherever we were going. And I was thinking about that today because I was thinking about how Jesus called his disciples and as well how he calls you and I. So in Matthew 4, Peter finds Simon and Andrew. And you know how he called Simon and Andrew? If you go back and read it, he basically just said, "Follow me." Now, following Jesus is an action. It's not even just a one-time decision. If you look in the original language and what Jesus meant by that, he didn't mean just like follow me for a day or an hour or next few minutes. It was a commitment for their whole life. He was calling them to make them fishers of men, to make them what would eventually be what we understand to be Christians or followers of the Lord Jesus Christ. So when he said, "Follow me," they left everything behind and followed him. Their whole life was spent literally following Jesus. And then later in Matthew 9, he calls Matthew the tax collector, and he says the same thing to Matthew: "Follow me." You know what that meant for him? That meant he left his tax collector booth. He left everything behind and he followed Jesus. Church, that's what Jesus means when he calls us to follow him. It isn't just something we do on Sunday mornings, although that's absolutely important and essential in our walk with him, to gather with other believers on Sunday to pray, to worship, to hear the word preached. That's a part of it, but that's not all of it. He literally is calling us to give him our entire life, day after day after day, minute by minute, second by second, to follow him. And we do that by practicing the essential parts of the Christian faith, by praying, by reading and studying his word, by gathering with believers in worship, by serving using our spiritual gifts in the church. When Jesus said to his disciples, and when he says it to us, "Follow me," that's what he means. Now, when I would follow my father through the woods, he would take me to a place that I didn't know where I was going. He grew up and spent most of his adult life in those particular woods that we hunted in. So he knew exactly where to go. He didn't need a path because he knew the destination. And that's what Jesus is doing in your life. When he says, "Follow me," it's so he can take you on a pathway to this intended and planned purpose for your life. And so when you fall away to the right or the left, you're no longer following Jesus and no longer pursuing him to this end destination that he desired for you. When I followed my father, he would take me to that deer stand or to that spot where we would sit and wait for the turkey, or where we would sit and we'd wait for the pheasant to fly by. and have dinner for that night. And so the purpose for Jesus asking us to follow him is for our life to be shaped by him and by his word, so that at the end, the goal is Christ likeness and our total and complete preparation to be with him in heaven. And so, church, just like Jesus said to his disciples, follow me, he says it to you. Follow him. Stay on that narrow path that Jesus designed for you. He knows where you're going, and he knows where you're going to get to, and it's going to be good. And he has a great purpose for your life. So follow Jesus. We have some pretty amazing things happen this week. Make sure you're here Wednesday night for our prayer and Bible study. We have things for all children of all ages. Friday night at 6 o'clock, make sure you're here for the Berlanga wedding vow renewal. They want everybody there. We're going to have a great time of worship, and then we're going to gather for an awesome reception in the fellowship hall. Then, of course, we have worship on Sunday, 9:45 Sunday school, and then church at 11. Now, next Monday, the 9th, our men's and women's Bible studies begin. They start at 6:30 and they go till 8. We have free childcare. You just need to RSVP with us in the foyer right after church. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.